Pina Catania and the Pink Plumber.
Good morning, Tampa Bay. Let's get your day started. This is ABC Action News, taking action for you.
While we wait on the status of Florida's massive property insurance reform bill, there's a big shakeup happening in leadership. Coming up, a look ahead at what comes next after the state's insurance commissioner resigned.
And we're live at Tampa International this morning, kicking off one of the busiest travel weekends of the year. Coming up, we're finding out if airports are expecting any major flight delays. Hello and good morning, everybody. The answer,
I can tell you right now.
The answer to that question is almost always yes. I'm James Tully.
And good morning, I'm Dee O'Reilly. Jazz Williams is watching the roads for you this morning. Any delays out there so far?
Maybe not delays, but definitely things to make you aware of for sure.
Boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a big winter storm in the Northeast today. That's going to delay flights for this weekend. And then heading into next weekend, heads up, we could have delays from Atlanta all the way up the East Coast as some Arctic air from Siberia comes across the North Pole and spills south across North America. More on that a little bit later. 59 Clearwater, 59 in Tampa, 60 in Riverview, and 58 at McDill. These temperatures have been dropping every hour we get new data, and they continue to fall all the way down to the south. The 60s are becoming less common. The 50s taking over. North breezes making it feel cooler. That north wind is dragging in drier air. So no rain out there this morning. There won't be any today, but there are still some clouds around that will stick around through at least the morning hours. By midday, partly sunny skies, lots of sunshine for the afternoon. Temperatures cooler today in the 60s. We'll talk about that weekend forecast and the cool down ahead. That's coming up. Jazz, good morning.
Good morning, Greg. Before I get into what's ugly, take a look at this gorgeous shot of from Action Air 1. The downtown interchange just looks really, really, really good until, of course, you start to get into it a little bit. So right now, just want to make you aware of some things. Like I mentioned, Hillsborough County, I-4 westbound at Columbus. We are seeing a crash there that is starting to cause a little congestion in the area. So if you're heading into downtown Tampa, you do want to make yourself aware of that. And also, we have a disabled vehicle still present on that I-75 northbound exit ramp to I-4 westbound. So if you're heading into Tampa right now, you could come into a couple of problems if you're not careful, but so far it's not hideous. I'll say it like that. Dia, I'm going to send it back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Jazz. Crews at Tampa International Airport have been preparing for one of the busiest travel periods of the year. The holiday rush starts this weekend. So this morning, we want to help you navigate the congestion and, of course, all the long lines to expect.
And let's go to ABC Action News reporter Larissa Scott. She's posted up at TPA this morning with more on what you should expect if you're traveling over the next few days. Larissa?
Well, James, we've already seen lots of people come through the airport this morning, and TPA officials tell us that's exactly what we can expect over the next few weeks until January.
Christmas break is usually a very, very busy time for us.
It's one of the busiest times of the year. Tampa International Airport expects to see around 70,000 passengers a day over the next 2 weeks, with the busiest day seeing up to 80,000 people.
We might see some days that are past the peak that we saw in 2019, which was a record year for us.
But TPA tells us they're ready for those numbers. The airport is fully staffed and prepared for around 1 million passengers between now and January.
We had a really successful Thanksgiving period where we didn't see a lot of delays, we didn't see a lot of issues, and we're hoping we have the same thing during Christmas.
That higher volume of people, of course, means longer lines at TSA, more congestion, and fewer parking spaces.
Our parking is going to be very tight. Just like Thanksgiving, we're going to have some days when we're very full in our parking garages. It's going to be hard to find a space.
So arrive early, get dropped off at the Blue Curb Express if you don't need to check any luggage, and book your parking online to save some money and guarantee a parking spot. And if you haven't booked your flight yet or are looking for deals while traveling over the holidays, there are some last-minute ways you can still save money.
Look out for all the different ways you could save. It might be, like I said, non-traditional. You might be able to unlock travel benefits through your wireless carrier, through other deals, look through credit cards, because the travel perks can come through there as well.
Overall, travel experts say while things will be very busy over the coming days, the good news is there should be fewer flight delays and cancellations.
Because the airlines have cut back their schedules, and that is to really avoid some of those issues we saw earlier this year in the spring and summer when there was a lot of delays and cancellations because of crew issues and other things.
And one last tip for you before you head to the airport, make sure you check with your airline to make sure that your flight is still leaving on time. I'm live from TPA this morning. Larissa Scott, ABC Action News.
Thank you, Larissa. Another local airport is expecting a lot of traffic this holiday season. St. Pete International is expecting record high travelers, and they have some reminders if you're planning to park at the airport before your flight. Prepare for long-term parking to close. PIE says it's expected to reach capacity. People will then have to park in the Key Lime or Strawberry economy lots. And once those fill up, parking at the airport will no longer be available.
And Governor Ron DeSantis suggested he might sign that massive property insurance reform bill as soon as today. It's supposed to lower the cost of reinsurance with $1 billion tax dollars. It also reduces incentives to sue insurers and reduces the number of people using the state-backed carrier of last resort, Citizens Insurance. The GOP majority says it would stabilize the market, bring in more private competition to cut prices.
We were told for years that if you drive down the cost of litigation, we will lower rates. We are gonna hold their feet to the fire, and I mean that. And maybe in the past people said it and they didn't, but I mean it.
Democrats do not believe this bill will bring any actual rate reductions. Members tried to amend it with changes that included premium caps and mandated reductions, but none of their ideas were adopted.
And while the debate over Florida's property insurance crisis continues, there was a big change in leadership at the state's Office of Insurance Regulation. Commissioner David Altmaier is resigning at the end of the year. The Financial Services Commission appointed Altmaier in April of 2016. He served 2 gubernatorial administrations. Governor DeSantis and Florida's chief financial officer will begin the search for a new commissioner immediately. We asked State Senator Jeff Brandes from St. Petersburg about what the state will look for in a new commissioner.
Great industry expert who has the knowledge and deep understanding of the state of Florida. Homeowners across the state are paying 3 times the national average for property insurance. And so this commissioner is going to have to implement a new law and deal with a variety of different challenges.
In a statement, the governor's office said Altmaier was instrumental in helping pass insurance reform and bring relief to Floridians.
A Tampa pastor is not giving up on his mission to help others this holiday season despite his own personal battles. Anthony Brown's currently in the middle of chemotherapy for stage 4 brain cancer. He's also undergoing treatments for serious heart and kidney issues. But the 40-year-old pastor at Vertical Church isn't stopping his mission to help others. And on his list right now is adopting 2 schools to bring Christmas gifts to dozens of kids. He says he will always do what he can to help, even as his health declines.
I'm going to continue to work as long as I'm able to. Have to take a few breaths, move a little slower, but I'm going to continue to work as long as I have breath in my body to make sure that I'm doing what God has called me to do.
Brown said they just finished up their Gas on God event, which gave gas to dozens of families who struggle to afford it. And next week, he's hosting another school function.
There is a big celebration tonight. It's a sneak peek of the upcoming Kwanzaa celebration in the Tampa Bay area. Kwanzaa is an annual celebration of African-American culture. It runs from December 26th through January 1st. And tonight's event is going to be a whole lot of fun. We've got a sneak peek right here. These are the kids from Walton Academy. They're going to be performing there. The entire community is invited to come out and support Black-owned businesses and culture and learn about Kwanzaa.
We noticed that a lot of people don't know what Kwanzaa is or how to celebrate it, so we felt like this would be a good time to educate them on the 7 principles, learn some cultural things about the meaning behind the holiday, and to come together as one.
Tonight's event starts at 7. It's at the Carrollwood Cultural Center on Casey Road. We will post more information on abcactionnews.com.
And tomorrow, the 37th annual Treasure Island Boat Parade is going to kick off, one of the largest lighted boat parades in the Tampa Bay area. Lighted and decorated boats will begin just south of Treasure Island Bridge with anchors away at 6:20. The parade will run south of Paradise Island, around the Isles of Palm and Capri before finishing at Johns Pass. There's going to be dinner and an awards party held at Krabby's immediately after. The parade expected to end by 8:15. The event's free, but boats have to be registered to be in the parade. Permission to step aboard, Captain?
Oh, absolutely, James. One of my favorite holiday traditions in Florida. Got to have a boat parade. Love them. Quite a few going on around the Bay Area. We'll take a look over towards Clearwater right now. I know it looks a little gray. You're thinking, okay, where's the sun? Are we going to get more rain out there today? No. This is the last of the storm system that moved through last night. You can also see the clouds here over towards St. Pete, but it's clear underneath. The humidity is dropping thanks to a north breeze, so rainfall is not going to be an issue anymore. 59 Clearwater, 59 Palm Harbor, 59 in West Chase, Plant City 58, the Lutz area 58, Riverview, and Ruskin still in the low 60s. Overhead, we've got the clouds out there, but I'm seeing some breaks in the overcast already, and certainly nothing on the radar. And that's the way the day is going to go. In fact, breaks of sun today. Temperatures cooler. You'll need a sweatshirt all day in the mid-60s. I see even colder weather potentially as we move through that extended forecast. I'll show it to you coming up in just a few minutes. Jazz?
Well, I see, Greg, some roads that look like they're starting to improve. I mean, at least that's what I'm seeing by way of, if we're looking at what we were seeing earlier. So I-75, that I-75 crash on that I-4 westbound exit ramp, gone. So that's the good news. That's why I wanted to show you this great shot of I-75 at the I-4 junction, just so you can see how things are moving much smoother there. Otherwise, we are still seeing that crash reflected on our map as far as I-4 westbound at Columbus goes. However, it looks like it's clearing up on the map as a whole. So we're not seeing the red that we were seeing just a couple of moments ago. That's the good news. Still see it reflected, but at the same time, not as impactful. Maybe I should say it like that. I'm going to keep you updated on everything else that we're seeing on our map and on Twitter at Tampa Bay Traffic. Make sure you're giving us a follow there. Dia, I'm going to send it back to you.
Our roof is completely gone. In fact, most of it's laying over there.
A tornado rips through parts of the Tampa Bay area. Coming up, a closer look at the damage it left behind.
Plus, Zoo Tampa announces some big plans for its future. The expansion to the Hillsborough River that'll bring a new entrance to the zoo.